I want to kind of move into the whole large, deposits as far as down payments and stuff like that are concerned. One of the things, we all like, especially in really uncertain times, we like to keep our cash and not maybe deposit that into the bank. And I know we've mentioned this before in previous sessions and stuff like that, but even though cash is king and it is, like Peggy always says, our legal tender here, it doesn't equate as far as a mortgage, as far as the mortgage process is concerned and as far as down payments. So what I'm trying to say is, cash for any purposes does not work in a mortgage. So we have to source where the money's coming from, which is why we ask for 2 months worth of bank statements, because we need to take a look to see where your down payment is coming from. Is it coming from a loan from a 401k? In that case, we need to see the 401k statements.
Right. And we need to, basically we have to follow the money trail. That's so important.
It is important. Let's say you received your tax refund, but you never deposited the money. You cashed the check, but you never deposited the money. We can't source that. There is no money trail. It hasn't been deposited into an account. So unfortunately, we're not able to use that.
Unless you deposit it and leave it sit for at least 2 months bank statements, and then we're not seeing that large deposit. That's key. Trish, I just had one a couple of days ago where someone saved up and keeps money at home, and they deposited $1,000 in cash into their checking account, and then had the teller write them a cashier's check for $1,000, gave that cashier's check as their earnest money to the real estate agent. So that's your good faith money, and gave that to the real estate agent. Well, when I got the bank statements, now I have to source that $1,000. Where did that $1,000 come from? Unfortunately, because it's cash, I have no way of sourcing that whatsoever. And luckily, they don't need that money in the mortgage transaction. And they have other sources of cash that is seasoned and that we're good with. So I'll be able to pull that out of the transaction. But that's where, if you're just depositing mattress money or cash at home, it's not usable.
Yeah, I like that word, seasoned. That makes sense to me. It's got to be seasoned, sourced, all those words. A couple of other examples is if you're selling your car, we did mention this in a previous session as well, but if you're selling your car and you're just keeping the cash, that does not work. We'll have to have a sales receipt. That money has to be deposited into your account. We have to be able to see that over the course of a 2 months bank statement.
And we also need to see the bill, along with the bill of sale. We need a copy of the title transferring it. Normally you ask for some kind of a cashier's check or a money order, so don't take cash if you can. And then we have to prove that you owned it by the title, and then we have to do Blue Book values and get values on the vehicle to prove that you didn't just give it to a friend and the friend give you cash for the car and it never really transferred. So we do need to show that that actually took place. So it's involved.
I think it's important to understand, because, when you come to speak to us, we do ask for a lot of paperwork, and a lot of times people are like, gosh, I don't remember doing that the last time. Why? I didn't need all this stuff the last time. By law, we have to check for money laundering. Not that you would ever do that. It's just by law, we have to do that. So we have to collect all these documents to show where all of this money is coming from.
Things are changing in the mortgage industry so quickly. So what rules and regulations are in place today probably weren't in place 10 years ago. Well, I know they weren't. I was here. It was not in place 10 years ago. It's a totally different world. And we just have to follow the rules. And our goal in this transaction is to make it as smooth and easy for you as possible. So please just, comply when we're asking for things. We're not just doing it because we want all this documentation. Trust us on this. But we have to comply with the mortgage program and the investors that are eventually buying that loan.
Right.
If you have a question, or if you'd like to see the full presentation, please feel free to contact Peggy at 920-457-5626 or email her at peggy.ayers@ at cibmmortgage.com.